Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, beta.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Gandhi.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Jigyasa.
गुड मॉर्निंग मैम।
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
बेटा ये बताओ कल हम लोगों ने गार्गी कहाँ तक करा था? कौन सी वर्कशीट कर ली थी?
Federalism.
We were on civics.
Yes, ma'am. Civics, federalism.
We were on civics, federalism. Which was the history we will do today? History, right?
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Nationalism in India.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. याद आ गया मेरे को कि आज हमें हिस्ट्री करनी है. चलो. So ready for the history questions?
Yes, ma'am.
चलिए. If I ask you questions verbally, will that be okay? Or shall I write
Yes,
it?
ma'am.
Huh?
यस मैम।
Ma'am,
Verbal
orally.
will be okay।
Verbal will be fine, no? Fine. Oral करते हैं चलो. चलिए.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Pavni. So the first question is, what was the most important feature of the Satyagraha movement advocated by Gandhiji?
It used the concept of non-violence, and it wanted that the
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Beta.
May I?
Yes,
Ma'am,
Pavni.
today, ma'am, history revision.
Beta, the question is, what was the most important feature of the Satyagraha movement advocated by Gandhiji?
May I?
बताओ.
Ma'am, may I tell?
Yes, Beta. बताओ नैना.
Ma'am, the main feature of the Satyagraha movement that was led by Gandhiji was that it suggested that if the cause was true and the struggle was against injustice, so without any physical force, we can fight with the oppressor or without being aggressive. The Satyagrahis could win the battle without any violence.
ठीक है. इसका
I
बहुत
mean this we have to appeal the conscience of the oppressor
हाँ.
without violence।
देखो simple सा answer. Satyagraha was a method of Satyagraha was adopted by Gandhiji, which supported or which favored, truth and non-violence. Truth and non-violence. ठीक है. राघव ने लिखा है method of agitation and protest based on truth and violence. ठीक है, ये भी ठीक है, right? जरूरी थोड़ी है हर क्वेश्चन कॉम्प्लिकेटेड हो, सिंपल भी हो सकता है. ठीक है, चलो नेक्स्ट इज which act did not permit plantation workers? This answer Pavni will tell. Which act did not permit plantation workers to leave the tea gardens without permission? ठीक है, जिज्ञासा कर लेते हैं, वो ये काम भी कर लेंगे. अभी ये हम शेयर कर लेंगे, अभी नेक्स्ट पीरियड भी तो है हमारे पास. ठीक है.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Pavni,
Yes, ma'am.
your answer.
Ma'am, I'm getting confused.
Whatever
Ma'am,
the
may I?
confusion is, whatever the confusion is, you tell.
Can you please repeat the
Question completed.
Ma'am, was it the non-cooperation for plantation workers?
No. Apurva.
Ma'am, the Inland Immigration Act of 1859.
Come again. I couldn't hear you clearly.
The Inland Immigration Act of 1859.
Very good. Very good. The Inland Immigration Act of 1859 did not permit the plantation workers to leave the tea gardens without permission. Very good. Next. Can we have Himanshu answering this question? Chalo, Mohit Gangwar. Mohit Gangwar. What is meant by begar? What is meant by begar? Mohit, you know the answer?
When laborers are forced to contribute without giving any payment.
बेटा आवाज क्लियर नहीं है बच्चा, जोर से बोलो.
When laborers were forced to work in the village without being paid.
Begar was a system in which, or begar is a system in which the laborers were forced to work without any wages. This was practiced mostly during the British rule in most of the villages in India. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next question is, at which session of Congress was the resolution of Purna Swaraj adopted? Can we have Ananya answering this question? Ananya? Okay, Naina?
Ma'am, can you please repeat the question?
Beta, at which session of Congress the resolution of Purna Swaraj was adopted?
Ma'am, let me think.
Okay, chalo. Can we have
Ma'am,
Mohit
may I?
answering? Mohit, batao beta.
I'm at the Lahore session.
At the Lahore session.
Lahore session.
ठीक है.
1930.
ठीक है. Next, can we have Aiza answering this question?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did Gandhiji oppose the salt laws? Why did Gandhiji oppose the salt laws?
Ma'am, because it was an unfair law in which there was a tax on salt, on manufacturing of salt, and that's why he opposed it, and he wanted to remove the tax on salt because salt is something which is consumed by everyone, and so
Okay. Okay. Fine. What if you have to give this answer only for 1 marks? Then can we have Mohit answering?
May
Acha, Viresh, batao beta.
salt was something consumed by the rich and poor altogether. So Gandhiji decided salt as a way to unite the nation.
Nahi, nahi. This is not the correct answer. Pavni?
Ma'am, Gandhiji opposed the salt law because salt was something consumed by both the rich and the poor.
बेटा ये तो ठीक है, बट अगर 1 मार्क में आपको देना तो आप इतनी डिटेलिंग थोड़ी लिखोगे बच्चे. आप एक सिंपल सा रीजन लिखोगे जो कि बुक में एग्जिटस लिखा हुआ है.
मैम मैं आए.
ये जिज्ञासा बताओ.
Ma'am, the idea was to make the demands wide-ranging, and salt was consumed by the rich and poor people both. So Gandhiji decided to.
नहीं.
Ma'am, I found
Ma'am,
another
may I?
answer.
Gandhi
Can I
ji.
try again?
अच्छा
Ma'am, may I?
बताओ विभांशु.
Ma'am, Mahatma Gandhi found in salt a powerful symbol that could unite the nation.
अरे नहीं, वो तो
Means
जब
yeah,
उन्होंने सॉल्ट सत्याग्रह इनिशिएट करा था तब. देखो आप लोग के पास बुक्स है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Open page number 63 of your book. The salt march and the civil disobedience movement, first paragraph, last 3 lines.
The tax on salt.
The tax on salt and the government monopoly over its production. This is the reason why Gandhiji opposed the salt law. ठीक है? सॉल्ट सत्याग्रह उन्होंने क्यों इनिशिएट किया था? क्योंकि जो सॉल्ट लॉ इंपोज किया गया था बाय द ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट, उसके अगेंस्ट में, ठीक है, क्योंकि जो ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट थी उन्होंने मोनोपोली जो है वो ले ली थी फॉर द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ऑफ सॉल्ट, और जिसकी वजह से सॉल्ट के जो प्राइसेस थे वो बढ़ गए थे. दैट इज व्हाई ही इनिशिएटेड दैट सॉल्ट मार्च. ठीक है, राइट?
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
तो इसको आप ऐसे लिखोगे, द ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट एक्वायर्ड मोनोपोली राइट्स ओवर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एंड सेल ऑफ सॉल्ट which led to the increase in the prices. That is why Gandhiji opposed the salt law. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes,
Next.
ma'am.
Next is why did Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and Gandhiji clash in the second round table conference? Why did Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and Gandhiji clash in the second round table conference?
May I?
Yes, Gargi.
Ma'am, at the second roundtable conference, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar demanded for a separate electorate for the Dalits, but Gandhiji was opposed to this idea as he thought that this would divide the nation. So they clashed at the second roundtable conference.
एक मिनट गार्गी, दोबारा बोलो बेटा एक बार.
Ma'am, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar supported the idea of separate electorate for the Dalits, but Gandhiji thought that this would divide the nation. So they clashed at the second roundtable conference over this topic.
Perfect. बस यही आंसर है इसका. Very good. Next.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, beta.
Ma'am, I'm rejoining from another device. Please let me know.
ठीक है, I'll take. कर लो जाओ. Next question is, why was Gandhiji against the demand for separate electorates?
Ma'am, may I?
Yes. बोलो विभांशु.
Ma'am, Gandhiji was against the separate electorate because he thought that this will divide the nation.
And the main reason behind opposing this was that he felt that the this freedom movement will slow down.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Very good.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next question. What was the main point of difference between the Congress and the Muslim League? कांग्रेस और मुस्लिम लीग में क्लैशेस हो रहे थे, तो व्हाट वाज द मेन पॉइंट ऑफ डिफरेंस? क्या कारण था डिफरेंस का?
May I?
यस गार्गी.
Ma'am, the Congress seemed to be more openly associated to the Hindu party, which was the Hindu Mahasabha, and moreover, when the Congress withdrew the non-cooperation Khilafat movement, many Muslims feel alienated from the Congress.
ना 1 मार्क के आंसर में आप इतना सारा लिखोगे, इसका एक ही कारण था, सबसे बड़ा रीजन. यस,
The Muslims were denied their separate electorate demands.
नहीं, this was also not the reason.
Ma'am, because the Congress supported the Hindu Mahasabha.
बेटा, सबसे बड़ा रीजन मुस्लिम लीग और कांग्रेस के डिफरेंस का ये था कि दे वर कंसर्न्ड अबाउट द रिप्रेजेंटेशन इन द फ्यूचर असेंबलीज, है ना? जो गार्गी ने बताया एकदम सही पॉइंट है, बट गार्गी ने ये वाला इस पॉइंट को छोड़ दिया. नो डाउट्स हिंदू महासभा, आप ये देखो कि जितने भी कांग्रेस में जितने भी मेंबर्स थे कांग्रेस के, देवर मोस्टली हिंदूज. ठीक है, तो मुस्लिम रिप्रेजेंटेशन बहुत कम था, इसलिए मुस्लिम लीग जो था उनमें डिफरेंस ये था कि उनको ये लगता था कि भाई जो फ्यूचर रिप्रेजेंटेशन को सोचते हुए कि भाई क्योंकि उनका प्रेजेंट रिप्रेजेंटेशन कम है तो उनको पता नहीं सीट्स फर्दर आगे मिलेंगी कि नहीं मिलेंगी. दिस वाज वन रीजन फॉर डिफरेंसेस between the Congress and the Muslim League. देखो ये लिखा हुआ है. It is given over here. कहाँ गया वो लाइन?
Ma'am, page 69, last para.
नहीं ये आइडेंटिटी वाला, हाँ यही वाला, यहीं से. ठीक है, ये आपका सेकंड लास्ट पैराग्राफ. Question of representation continued, but all hope of resolving the issues at all parties conference disappeared when M.R. Jayankar and the Hindu Mahasabha strongly opposed efforts at compromise. ये जो question of representation है by the Muslim League, second last paragraph, 69 page का first paragraph देख लो आप. One of the leaders of the Muslim League was willing to give up the demand for separate electorates, but if Muslims were assured reserved seats in the Central Assembly and representation in proportion to population in the Muslim-dominated provinces. ठीक है? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. चलिए next question है. Why did the nationalists in India tour villages?
Ma'am, please repeat.
Why did the nationalists in India tour villages? बताओ.
May I?
Ma'am, may I?
May I?
May I?
Yes, Viresh.
Ma'am, to spread the Khilafat non-cooperation movement.
To? ये बेटा ये
Ma'am, to
May I?
spread the ideas of Swaraj.
Ma'am, may I?
बताओ हिमांशु.
Ma'am, nationalists tour villages to gather folk songs and legends.
Very good. Very good. The nationalists, they toured villages to gather the folk songs and the legends so as to produce a true picture of traditional Indian culture, to discover one's identity and restore a sense of pride in one's past. ठीक है? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
चलिए. Next question. Explain the idea of Satyagraha according to Gandhiji. This is a 3 marks question. Detail में देना है आपको. बताओ.
Satyagraha,
May
in
I?
which Satya means truth and Agraha means to firm.
एक मिनट.
As Gandhiji's policy.
Daksh. दोबारा. अब बताओ.
Yes, sir. Ma'am, Satyagraha, in which Satya means truth and Agraha means to firm it. As the Gandhiji's policy, if you are following the path of truth, you don't need any physical violence to prove yourself right. So if you are following the path of truth, you just have to be non-violent and find ways to prove yourself.
ठीक है. Anybody else?
Ma'am, may I?
Yes,
Ma'am, may
बेटा.
I try?
चलो एक बार हिमांशु को करने दो, उसके बाद पागली.
Okay.
Okay. Ma'am, the idea of Satyagraha emphasized the power of truth and need to search for truth. It suggested that if the cause was true, if the struggle was against injustice, then the physical force was not necessary to fight the oppressor without being aggressive. A Satyagrahi could win the battle through non-violence. This could be done by appealing to the consent of the oppressor.
ठीक है. ठीक है. Anybody else? Pavni, you also give. Then I'll tell.
Yes, ma'am, it's almost the same that according to Mahatma Gandhi, he believed that Satyagraha was something which could bring all the Indians together. It could unite the Indians. And Satyagraha was mainly about fighting the truth without being violent and without being aggressive and violent.
Okay. That's it.
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है, ठीक है, सही है ये. वो जो आपका बुक में जो रेड बॉक्स में लिखा हुआ है आइडिया ऑफ सत्याग्रह, वहां से आप पॉइंट्स लिखोगे, एटलीस्ट 4 पॉइंट्स फ्रॉम देयर, राइट?
Ma'am, the source A.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see, let me check. एक मिनट.
Ma'am, from which portion are you saying?
I'm telling beta. Source है Mahatma Gandhi on Satyagraha, second paragraph.
Ma'am, in the notebooks we wrote the answer from the passage beside the paragraph.
Yes,
But then
Yes,
it is
ma'am.
fine. It is fine. Both you can write.
Okay, ma'am.
ठीक है?
ma'am, source boxes can come in the exam.
Some of them, not all beta. Some of them.
Ma'am, the
Okay,
source will come for the case study questions, no?
Yes, sources will come for the case study questions and source based questions also. Like you will be given a source and then on the basis of that source you will be given MCQs, 4 questions.
Some source-based questions will come.
For these subjectives, no, but for your finals and for your this
Term
term
one.
one, you can get,
Okay, ma'am.
right? Okay, write down one question, 2 questions, and then write the main heads, and then we will discuss. Okay. Why did Mahatma Gandhi decide to launch a nationwide satyagraha against the proposed Rowlatt Act This is a 5-mark question. You have to give points according to 5 marks. Then describe in brief the reactions of the people immediately after Jallianwala Bagh incident. Written?
Ma'am, please repeat the second question.
Describe in brief the reactions of the people immediately after Jallianwala Bagh incident. Written?
Yes, ma'am.
5 minutes to write the main heads and then we will discuss.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, the second question which you gave, we have to write that also in the points.
Yes, that also in points.
Okay, ma'am.
Written, shall we discuss?
Yes, ma'am.
Chaliye. First one.
Yes.
Who will tell this answer? Raghav?
Ma'am, may I?
Okay, Gargi. Question is, why did Mahatma Gandhi
Ma'am, Gandhiji decide.
Okay, carry on.
Ma'am, Gandhiji decided to launch a nationwide Satyagraha against the proposed Rowlatt Act because, first, the Rowlatt Act was passed hurriedly despite the united opposition of the Indian members of the legislature. Second, it was an unjust law which gave enormous power to the government to arrest and allowed detention of the political prisoners without trial for more than 2 years. Third, it repressed all the political activities which were taking place in India. Fourth, Mahatma Gandhi was confident of the success of the previous movements, so he decided to launch the movement. Fifth, as a result, rallies and strikes were organized and transport communication lines were
Disrupted. Okay. Perfect. Anybody else for the same answer with different points? See, these are all perfect points, Gargi, right? Srishti. Srishti, are you there? Ujjwal Singh, are you there? Ujjwal? Srishti, can you hear me?
May I?
रुको एक मिनट. Daksh. Daksh, can you hear me? Okay. Apurva, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
बताओ बेटा इसका आंसर.
Yes, ma'am.
सेकंड वाले का.
Second one.
Describe in brief the reactions of the people immediately after Jallianwala Bagh incident.
Okay, ma'am. As the news of Jallianwala Bagh spread, crowds took to the streets in many North Indian towns. There were strikes, clashes with the police, and attack on government buildings. The government responded with brutal repression, seeking to humiliate and terrorize people. Satyagrahis were forced to rub their nose on the ground.
crawl on the streets and do salam to all sahibs. People were flogged and villages were bombed.
ठीक है, fine, very good. कोई बात नहीं पुनीत, हम ले रहे हैं जब भी आप आ रहे हो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Next question is, mention 3 main proposals with reference to non-cooperation movement as suggested by Mahatma Gandhi. I repeat my question. Mention 3 main proposals with reference to non-cooperation movement as suggested by Mahatma Gandhi. Who will tell this answer?
Ma'am, may I?
Ma'am, I didn't get the question.
What were the 3 proposals that were suggested by Mahatma Gandhi before the initiation of non-cooperation? In reference, when non-cooperation was to be launched, what were the proposals that were given by Mahatma Gandhi?
And he proposed that the movement should unfold in stages.
Very good. Second?
And secondly, he asked the people to surrender all the titles which were awarded by the government. Third, to boycott all the civil services, army, educational institutions, and legal.
Very good. Perfect.
Ma'am?
Yes, beta Himanshu.
Ma'am, can we write that in case the government use repression, a full disobedience campaign would be launched?
नहीं.
As a point.
इसमें proposals में आपको वो वाला portion लिखना है जहाँ पे उन्होंने ये कहा था कि भाई this non-cooperation will unfold in stages. कैसे हम क्या चीजें करेंगे पहले. तो वही 3 points आपको.
Okay, ma'am.
Proposals, 3 main proposals you have to write. ठीक है?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
चलो. Next question. Why did some leaders of the Congress oppose the idea of a non-cooperation movement? Why did? Yes, and Gargi.
Ma'am, some of the Congress leaders were reluctant to boycott the council elections, which was scheduled for November 1920, and they feared that the movement might lead to a popular violence. Due to this, they opposed to the idea of launching a nationwide non-cooperation.
ठीक है. Anybody else for another points?
No, ma'am, the same points.
No, ma'am, same point.
Same points. This is the correct answer. Okay. Then significance of non-cooperation movement, or what were the major contributions of the non-cooperation movement? What were the major contributions of the non-cooperation movement? Yeah, examine the significance of the non-cooperation movement. Who will tell this answer?
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, Pavni.
Ma'am, just wanted to confirm, we need to tell the effects of non-cooperation.
No, you have to tell that how significant this non-cooperation movement was, like about the participation and other things that happened. How this non-cooperation contributed.
Ma'am, but non-cooperation was a failed movement.
बट इनिशियली बेटा जो भी जब हम कोई चीज करते हैं तो उसका कुछ ना कुछ सिग्निफिकेंस तो होता ही है। जब नॉन कोऑपरेशन इनिशियली लॉन्च हुआ तो उसका क्या सिग्निफिकेंस था, क्या कंट्रीब्यूशन रहा। जैसे अगर हम बात करते हैं कि मास मूवमेंट की या मास पार्टिसिपेशन की, तो आप देखो नॉन कोऑपरेशन पहले जितने भी मूवमेंट्स लॉन्च किए गए या जो भी मतलब किया गया इनिशिएट बाय गांधी जी, दिस नॉन कोऑपरेशन वाज वन ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट मास मूवमेंट। सिविल डिसोबीडियंस तो बाद में आए थे, पर जब जितने भी उन्होंने अभी तक लॉन्च करे थे उनमें सबसे बड़ा था ये नॉन कोऑपरेशन। दूसरा जो सोशल ग्रुप्स थे, मतलब चाहे वो आपके टी गार्डन्स वाले हों, चाहे वो आपके हिल्स पे काम करने वाले हों, सब लोगों का एक जो सोशल ग्रुप्स का जो पार्टिसिपेशन दैट वाज मैक्सिमम इन दिस नॉन कोऑपरेशन, राइट?
यस मैम।
ठीक है। दूसरा नॉन कोऑपरेशन जब लॉन्च हुआ उसके साथ खिलाफत मूवमेंट भी लॉन्च हुआ, तो इट वाज इन इट वाज टू एंश्योर हिंदू मुस्लिम यूनिटी। ठीक है, राइट?
यस मैम।
फिर पीजेंट्स एंड ट्राइबल्स ने जो है एक बहुत ज्यादा इंथुजियास्टिकली इसमें पार्टिसिपेट करा। ठीक है, एंड बिकॉज इट वाज अ नॉन वायलेंट नॉन कोऑपरेशन था, बट देन नो वायलेंस वाज टू बी यूज्ड। तो जो नॉन वायलेंट मूवमेंट होने की वजह से गांधी जी का जो सत्याग्रह वाला जो पार्ट था कि भाई हम जो है नॉन वायलेंट सत्याग्रह को जो है इनिशिएट करेंगे, तो नॉन कोऑपरेशन में उसी चीज